Supermassive and Behavior have released a new trailer because apparently they want me to not sleep until Frank Stone comes out. It's fine. I'm so excited I probably wasn't going to sleep anyway. Let's check this thing out. First off, love this location. Cannot get enough of this mansion. Apparently it's called Garant Manor, or Garant Manor. Garant being a French word meaning middleman or agent. Did they just like the sound of it, or is there more supermassive aptronym stuff going on? Is the owner of the mansion working for the entity? Or for Augustine? Both? We also get what seems to be our first audio of Madison, our lead playable character in the present day.
This place is like super duper creep town, right?
I can't exactly agree with her if she's talking about this screening room. It's less creepy and more the worst designed screening room ever. So what's important for me in a screening room is that it only be usable one night of the month when there's no moon whatsoever. Or I guess during thunderstorms? Maybe they can black out the glass with a switch or something? Also, great that there are no seats in front of the screen, so everyone's watching from an awkward angle. Then again, it's pretty clear that this isn't a screening room for watching movies, it's a screening room for summoning Frank Stone. So they want a clear aisle right in the middle of the screen, so when he pushes his way out of the movie, he can charge at people right away instead of having to awkwardly walk around a row of chairs. Oh, the projector is starting on its own, which is probably just a tech thing and not evil magic. I love that Christine is the kind of director who refers to her movies as pictures. Then we've got the presumably older Linda talking about her fuzzy memories about the incident.
Everything's still so fuzzy about what happened, but there's one thing that always just stuck in my mind.
And a good look at 4 people in the present day, which I guess includes 20XX Sam. And we're going to need one hell of an explanation for why he looks like that, since he should be 80 at this point. Does he wind up in the fog during the events of 1980 and then somehow gets back out? Here's the screen they're looking at, which seems to be strange waves of energy. Then a burn-in of Bonnie screaming. Plot's looking real bad for Bonnie here, peeps. Now we get the introduction of the game's new features. Here's a clip from Part 5, Phantom of the Steel Mill. It turns out there is, in fact, a logo for where the deaths are, but the logo I misidentified was for where the killer dolls were. It's nice to see global stats showing up, but I'm hoping it's an optional information item that we can turn off when we don't want to see it. Here's the decision point we saw in the last video, only now we're seeing Jamie fleeing instead of trying to help. Is this the right choice? Can Christine possibly escape the vortex? This might be the kind of trying to help that gets you killed. Damn, look at the insane set of branching options here. There's just a web going in every which direction. Although, I've got to ask, how can the 3 options be 38%, 38%, and 0%? Seriously though, being able to track what you have and haven't seen is going to be a complete game changer, and I can't wait to start trying it out. Apparently, when trying to climb through the train car to Frank's lair, Robert can fall and Jaime can save him. Or not. So can Robert die here? There's no sign of the death icon on the other option, so maybe it's just a trust thing or injury. Also, it would kind of be weird for people to continue investigating the lair if one of the crew members was dead. And here's the version where Jaime tries to help out Christine that we saw in the actor video. Okay, so this is a weird point in the game's promotion to reveal the Dead by Daylight killer version of Frank. I mean, we'd all kind of figured out that he was going to have a full-on monster version that was going to, return in the 1980 Murder Mill section, but it's still weird that this is how they're revealing it. Here's Robert reminiscing about Sam's showdown with Frank.
This is right where my dad came face to face with Frank Stone.
I think you're starting to see what we're up against.
Twitch integration should be a blast. Obviously, I'm going to have to do this, so look forward to that the moment I've finished the game for myself. Limited vetoes, eh? Okay, I'll admit it. I really like that we're going to have to just go with what the audience wants most of the time. Like, you can't just force them into seeing the version you want to see. Like, if your audience is going to make bad decisions, we're just going to go through with it. I know the texture popping is going to be a thing, but it's a little weird to see it in a trailer. So yeah, This is energy leeching off of the body parts of Frank Stone's victims. Is he feeding on their souls? Is that part of how he comes back? There's a creepy museum. And who's this character? Augustine references 40 years of pain.
After 40 years of pain, why would you choose to live with more?
Is she talking to Linda or Sam? Also, will Linda try to rescue Christine here? More importantly, why aren't they sticking together? They're making a horror movie. Have they never seen one? I'm glad that this demonstration of Plunderer's instinct shows off an item. I know it technically did last time, in fact, the same item, but this is much more useful. Although it's actually the iridescent king chess piece in that box. Who is this in the painting? A screaming figure with green energy pouring out of it. We need so much more information. Here's Linda asking a presumably older Sam if he's okay.
You're not okay, are you?
Is he falling apart because he can't function outside of the entity's realm for long? Then Madison hits us with this real bad metaphor.
I'm sleepwalking through a nightmare and I just can't seem to wake up.
How can you sleepwalk through a nightmare? Are you not aware of it? Because that's what you're suggesting, and I don't think that's the case. Seriously, who is this getting entityed? Is it an older Bonnie, and Madison is her daughter? No, that seems like a stretch. It's just we've seen this in a bunch of trailers now, so it's a key moment, but that's not a recognizable character, although the fact that she's a desiccated monster looking like a Shadow from Deadly Premonition doesn't help. Damn, Linda's in bad shape here. Like, we know she survives, but it's not looking good. Will she have persistent injuries the way Sam can? Robert and Sam in a tender moment. Is this when they visit the mill together at night? So we can use the 8mm camera to go into first-person mode and see energy vortices that cause problems if you stumble into them. But is filming those vortices the very thing that gives the film Murder Mill the ability to drive people insane? Seriously though, how many people did Frank Stone kill? This is just one wall of his lair, and I count 4 severed heads, 2 spines, and a bunch of eerie things in jars. Dude was working overtime, both literally and figuratively. Also, don't think I didn't notice that there's a bonus skull made out of spider webs in the corner. I noticed.
I can't live like this anymore. I can't live in this nightmare. Come on.
Lots of locked rooms in the mansion. Madison is being chased, and apparently the entity nightmares have haunted her for her whole life. That's interesting. Also, we can see that this hallway is next to the screening room. Here's older Sam talking about a prison, possibly referring to the entity's realm?
It's a prison. Something far older.
This shot of Frank over the crib apparently can't happen in the game. It occurs after you've knocked his mask off in the QTE aiming tutorial, so I guess this shot is just for promotion. And finally we've got Linda seeing a monster version of Frank Stone for the first time.
What is that?
That is Frank Stone.
Raising the question of whether he appears bodily in the Murder Mill section at all. We've got Jaime and Bonnie talking about a monster, so I'd assumed that it was the monster version of Frank they're talking about, but maybe not? God, this is such a good tease. It certainly does sound like Sam will be coming back out of the fog, though, if he can already identify the monster Frank. They've cut this final shot quite expertly, leaving us with just 2 frames of what are presumably Frank's arms. Although who knows, maybe it's another monster as well. All we can say for sure is that these are long, dark arms, maybe even black, that seem to have horrible spikes coming out of them. And then we end on this strange sound, which I just can't identify at all. Is that a person whimpering? Anyway, there's a lot to be excited about here. Expanding Wolfpack mode to a Twitch audience is a fantastic idea. I wonder how many straight decisions will get you killed that you can't avoid with a QTE. Like, how bloodthirsty is the audience going to get a chance to be? Obviously, I can't wait to find out, even though we do have to wait. Just 11 more days, though. For now, I've been the Hidden Object Guru. Thanks for watching. If you had a good time and you'd like to see more, there's buttons coming up to help you with that. Questions, comments, your own theories about that sound, go in the comment section below the video. Will I finally get a chance to make that chess video I've been wanting to make for a while? I don't know, maybe. We'll see. Check out my game Clown in the Woods. It's free on itch.io. And delightful. We'll see you back here for more Frank Stone as they keep giving us more and more information in advance of launch. But until then, I'll say that's right. Au revoir.